The outer bands of Tropical Storm Hanna have hit Texas now. There are some flash flood watches this afternoon in 5 counties southwest of Houston. We see some rough seas in Galveston right now. A live look out there. People in the water. But I'll tell you what, the coastline farther south is going to see the worst of this. Blake, I have some family down in Rockport. It looks like folks in the coastal bend down there, they're the ones going to get hit.
Yeah, that's right. And that's where the tropical storm warning is in effect for Rockport. And then that transitions to a hurricane warning once you get down closer to Corpus Christi and into portions of deep South Texas. We'll show you that in just a moment. Here's the very latest cone from the Hurricane Center. Now saying winds making the storm making landfall with winds right around 75 miles per hour. That does make it a low end Category 1 hurricane. But it's important to know here that there's not much difference between a strong tropical storm and a weak hurricane. The effects are the same. Gusty winds, driving rain, and a small storm surge. We do have a storm surge warning in effect for the coastal bend of Texas as well, and that stretches all the way up into coastal Matagorda County. So those of you in the extreme southwest portions of our viewing area, you may see a small water rise as the storm gets ready to make landfall there just south of Corpus Christi. So the effects here along the upper Texas coast are expected to be the same. Again, rough surf, high tides, and of course the onset of very heavy weather. As far as rain goes, 2 to 4 inches of rain will be a possibility here along the upper Texas coast. There is your hurricane warning, again stretching from Mesquite Bay all the way down to Baffin Bay. That does include Corpus Christi, where they are looking for the worst of the weather. They are going to be just on the right side of that storm, and we've got this is the hurricane warning there, but we've got the flash flood watch that does include 5 of our southwest counties. That includes Galveston, Brazoria, Fort Bend, Wharton, and Matagorda County. And if you look carefully, this blue area right here, that is your storm surge warning. So it does include coastal Matagorda County in our viewing area. So just a heads up on that. Temperatures today did pop up into the mid-90s, thanks in part to that subsidence on the outside of the storm. We have cooled down to 90, but look at the temperatures out there in the Brazos Valley. We're talking about mid to upper 90s once again. Feels like numbers still in the hundreds with that east flow coming in around that storm, 21, 23, 26 miles an hour down there on Galveston Island. Earlier today at the Johnson Space Center, we did pick up a wind gust of 42 miles an hour as some of these showers pushed on through the area. So here's a look at the radar. We've got a heavy downpour just to the west of the north end of Lake Conroe. We've got some showers pushing through Fort Bend County, one out there just to the north of Katy, also getting into Colorado County. But if you look out to the east, out across southern Louisiana, you've got a lot more rain developing that is going to continue to move this way. There's the system right there wrapping up very, very nicely. A very well organized system, already looking like a hurricane, looking like it will in fact become a hurricane just before it makes landfall. So here's the forecast. You see most of the heavy weather will be down across the coastal bend of Texas, but here locally we are looking at the onset of heavy rain as well, but it'll be more of your scattered variety coming through in waves versus a prolonged event hour after hour after hour. So we're talking about 30 to 45 minutes at a time as these rain bands push on through. So we can expect that heading into tonight, heading into your Saturday, and again on Sunday and Monday before things begin to dry out a little bit. As far as the winds go, again, not a wind issue for the upper Texas coast, but here locally, this particular model, 39, 45 mile an hour winds, maybe 50 there in Corpus Christi, perhaps a little higher than that if the storm does indeed strengthen to a Category 1 hurricane. Now the chances of us seeing tropical storm force winds in the Houston area extremely low, almost negligible, but we're talking about a 70 to 80% chance of that occurring down there in Corpus Christi. As far as our rainfall amounts, generally 1 to 2 inches north of I-10. Once you're south of I-10, we could easily see 3 to 5 inches of rain, some areas even more than that as this high pressure continues to power this system off to the west. So over the next 7 days, 90 degrees for tomorrow, 88, but there's your rain chances, really high rain chances all the way through Tuesday before getting back to a more typical summertime pattern by the end of next week.